Dust is all that's left of us. But only if you ever worried. While the signs were clear, they had no idea. You just get used to living in fear. Or give up when you can't even picture your future.
What's up YouTube, Evan from Epic Duel Time here. I am doing kind of a different video for you guys. I am using YGO Pro to show you guys a TeleDAD Mirror Match. This is Retro TeleDAD, so back when like Allure was 3 and everything. And this is against, this is between myself and fellow member Jackson. The theme of the we're trying to do a series of videos where we show retro duels, but with like a twist, like a modern twist. This one was using Retort. Check out that card if you guys don't know it. Essentially, it's a trap card that lets you, if your opponent activates a card that you have in your graveyard, a spell or trap card that you have in your graveyard, you negate theirs and get yours back. So it's pretty awesome. And I always thought it'd be hilarious to see, like, with the amount of D draws and allures in this deck that you run, that it couldn't be used in this, and I thought that'd be really fun. But I don't think any of us draw it, to be honest with you. But this is still a really cool video nonetheless, and be able to talk about older formats. It's towards the end of the format, so I'm just kind of doing some fun stuff. We'll definitely pick up with more competitive builds and more competitive decks the first week of March. So hope you guys start liking these videos for the month. Let us know in the comments below what you think and what other matchups you'd like to see. I can really replicate any matchup. Once the twist, we have one where I want to do a Mermail matchup with Fishborg Blaster. So that'll be kind of fun. Okay, let me just get my idea on who's playing who. Okay, so I'm right here, and this is Jackson in the back. I have to remember these hands because he does switch them sometimes. I opened pretty awful. He opened the nuts. He's got D-Draw, Mally, and Allure, a Stratos. He's got the nuts, and I do not. I've got a Cravons, a Diamond Dude, and I draw and I get another Cravons, which is useless to me. Those of you don't know, it's just kind of like you want these for E-Teleport. You don't really want them in your hand. A lot of stuff in TeleDAD you want in your deck. It's just kind of like a lot of your stuff you want either in your graveyard or your deck. Your hand's really just loaded with play starters. So I'll be starting and stopping the play as you'll see. Alright, so I just set Sangan and a Judgment in the end. And he proceeds to D-draw his Mally. And then he draws Broken. He draws CCV and Mirror Force. So he uses Mally's effect. Plays Teleport. Gets a Cravons. Summons Colossal Fighter. I know what's in my hand, and I know that I can't get over a Colossal Fighter for at least like 2 or 3 more turns. And at that point, I know that he has broken plays to make, because think about it, he just D-drew and did a Mally play, so he's got the combos ready to go. So I figure it's not worth me dealing with a beat stick and then getting creamed in my next turns. It doesn't really help me anyway. So I take half damage. Keep in mind though, guys, Judgment's at 3. So he sets 2 and ends. I play Rhoda to get my Dark Refer. I Diamond Dude. Didn't get anything good off that. So I attack directly. Speed up a little bit. And this is kind of where things get bad. Remember, like, why Mally's at 2. This is why this card can't really come back. You'll see. In this instance, he has another Mally to summon. It actually might have been faster, technically, if I had had like a better hand. He had CCV. He could have easily had just summoned the third Mally and then hit my hand, but he didn't. He didn't need to. It's just another thing he could have done. But at this point, looking at my field, I've got a Sangan and a Diamond Dude. He could easily just pop twice with the dad, and that's game. He could sink into Goyo, pop twice with dad. There's 1,000 plays he can make, and they're all the right plays. So that was game 1. This is game 2. Okay, so I don't open as poorly this time. I've got a Dust Shoot, Mally, and Mally and Phoenix Wing Wind Blast is really good because obviously you're putting cards back and you'll be able to plus off the Mally later. I've got a Craybons if I have to normal summon it, and I've got a Diamond Dude. His hand is not as optimal, however, he does have that Greffer and that Mally. So I summon Diamond Dude, and I accidentally reveal the Brain Control. I was really hoping to reveal my Rhoda, or to reveal a D-Draw, or an Allure. Those are really what I wanted. And when you run 3 D-Draw, 3 Allure, your likelihood of it happening is pretty high. But I flip over my Brain Control by accident, and I lose that. So I just set Wing Blast and Dust Shoot, and I end. So, standby phase. The first thing I do is Dust Shoot him, and I put back that Mally, because that Mally is essentially the stepping stone for him to potentially really win the game. He'll get a Dark Greffer to be special summoned by discarding the Mally. And I saw all this, and he's got the Craybons, and so he could just normal his Craybons and start making huge combo plays immediately. And you really can't have that, because once TeleDAD plays start, it's very hard to go backwards and start undoing their plays. Counter plays. This is what this deck was about. It was just such a heavy combo deck. And it had a lot of big monsters, and it made big monsters. The whole deck was made about making big shit. It was very, very big. Explosive deck. And the deck can be tricky to pilot at times, and then other times it's pretty easy to pilot. There's plays that you have to make, and then there are other times where it's much more complex. So it's a very cool deck in terms of skill. So then the next thing he does is looking at his hand. If it were me, I probably would have played the Dark Greffer and pitch the Doom Lord and start setting up future plays, get his Mally back. That's just my opinion. I don't know what he thought my back row is. Keep in mind, when he activates the effect, I forget to respond. I don't know what made me forget to click the button. It asked me to do the summon response, and I let it go. But in retrospect, you'll see he uses Doom Lord's effect and targets my Diamond Dude. And then I use Wing Blast. I should have just responded to summon. Keep in mind, though, during TeleDAD time, there would have been priority anyway. We are not playing with priority, but still. So I pitch Mally, which is always an awesome duo, because essentially I can get later on my combos with the Mally, and I also get to throw something back. So I put back his Doom Lord. I shouldn't have done that the way I did, but I don't know. No sense in griping about it now. Then I draw Allure, broken, so I play it. I banished my Craybons. I drew D-Draw and Teleport. I banished Mally to summon Mally. I play my Teleport, summon Craybons. Go Stardust. He Judgments. I end. He once again keeps summoning the Sangan, and I feel like if it were me, I'd really want to start like tinkering and start getting plays together and go Greffer, get Mally in Grave, and really start setting things up, but he doesn't. Yeah, he could have discarded Doom Lord, and I don't know. He pokes me for 1,000. And this is how explosive this deck gets. I want to talk about why this is a good hand in this game, and why Solemn Judgment really is a card not to be used lightly. Remember that half your life points is a lot of life points, and while you do run 3 Judgment, it's very cool. Warning has its benefits at only taking away 2,000 and not 4,000 or 3,000 or however many you end up losing with Judgment. So this is why playing Solemn Judgment can lose you a game, and this is how it does it. So I use Mally, I teleport into Cravons, I summon Thought Ruler, I drop Dad, and I activate Dad's effect to go to pop this thing again. Remember that there's no Gorge, no Tragoedia, no nothing. So essentially, once I've got the game on my board, I've got game on my board. That's it. There's no interaction. I'm going to show you guys game 3. Give me a second, I just want to figure out who's who. He had the Reaper. I didn't have the Reaper. I'm 80% sure he had the Reaper. Because he sets it. Yeah. Okay. He sets MST and he sets Reaper and ends. So once again, I summon Diamond Dude. I keep doing that. And I drew it all 3 games. But I want to see if I can maybe flip my brain control or get something. But I don't. So I just play my teleport. I go Go-Yo. And then I whack right into a Reaper. He sets another back row. He sets a Torrential. Now, the way I see this is, I see it in 2 ways. I end up drawing heavy. If it were me, I wouldn't have set the MST to begin with. He had some of these in his hand. I would have definitely wanted to set some prevention, whether it's setting the Mirror Force or the Judgment. I don't find setting MST to be a very, very helpful thing. Remember that MST, the only things I'm gonna set are gonna be crush cards. I'm gonna set Judgments, and popping my Judgment, as good as it is, isn't that great. So I heavy. And then I summon Cravons, and I synchro into a Stardust. Then play Dad. I pop his Reaper. Deal a ton of damage. He draws another Judgment. He sets them all, but I'm gonna activate Dad's effect. And all I'm gonna do is sit there and activate Dad's effect. I also have Reborn. Well, that's our video for the week. Last video, we began our pack giveaways, and the winner is I'm Snugglicious. Want to win a pack of Cosmo Blazer? 3 simple things you gotta do. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with your favorite tech card and what deck do you run it in most. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and keep dueling, America.